Hi guys, today I want to talk to you about some beginner wig wearing tips. Alright, so I wanted to come on here today and I really just wanted to sit down and talk to you guys for a second about some tips that I wish people had kind of told me about or had suggested to me when I first started wearing wigs. It would have saved me a bunch of time, a bunch of money, a bunch of heartache and hassle, and a lot of trial and error. So I just wanted to kind of go over some of those things with you guys. If you are new to wig wearing, this will be very beneficial to you. And if you aren't new to wig wearing, maybe there's a couple tips in here that you weren't aware of that might help you as well. So that's kind of the goal of this video for today. One of the big things that I wish people had told me before I really dove into the wig world was not to spend a ton of money on the first couple wigs that I bought. And what I mean by that is don't go and buy $100+ wig the first time you buy a wig, because A, it's probably not going to be anything like what you want because you have no idea what you want yet. And B, you really don't know what kind of things you're looking for in a wig. And when you first start out, that's really hard to kind of figure out, because especially like nowadays, there's so much online wig shopping happening. The experience of most people who start wearing wigs for whatever reason doesn't tend to be going into a salon and getting custom fitted with a wig. That's not normally how a lot of us end up stumbling upon wigs and stumbling upon like our wig journey. So I feel like with online shopping, you have to be really careful because you're not really sure A, what you like, B, what's gonna look good on you, what's gonna work for you, and all of that. So I really wish people had just said like, hey, test out a couple really cheap, like $20, $30 Amazon wigs out just to see what colors and styles you like. Even though you know those wigs are gonna probably last you only 1 or 2 wears, it still gives you a better idea and a gauge of what you're looking for. Amazon's a really great place to kind of start out, kind of figuring out what lengths, what styles, what kind of curl, color, bangs, no bangs, all of that fun stuff. Just keep in mind that when you purchase from Amazon and when you do buy a $20 or $30 wig, you're getting a $20 or $30 wig. So you cannot expect this wig to be the magic, amazing, locks that you've been dreaming of, but it will probably give you a really good idea of what you like and or what you don't like about certain wig styles. So I highly recommend doing that. And I really wish someone had said, hey, start out that way. It'll save you a lot of money and a lot of trial and error. My wigs look just as crazy as your guys' wigs do, I promise. And just taking that extra step to take care of them, I wish someone had told me in the beginning, and I would have spared and saved so many wigs in the process. Another really great tip that I wish someone had told me as well, as someone who was looking for wigs because I had really thin hair and I was losing my hair, I wish someone had said, don't get that really dense, heavy wig. What I mean by that is those 150% densities and 140% density wigs are not gonna feel anywhere near like your hair, especially if you have hair that is thinning. So the typical person's natural hair is like between 110 and 130, and 130 is kind of like really voluptuous and very hot, like really healthy hair for someone. So when you're going from having 110, maybe even less because you have some type of hair loss happening, and you go and throw 150% density wig on your head, you're gonna feel crazy. You're gonna feel like you are wearing a wig because it's so much more hair than you're used to. And when I first started wearing wigs, especially because I was getting them from different places and I didn't really have a lot of knowledge, I was getting those 150 density wigs and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so heavy. And like, I also like felt like my hair was way thinner and like way more damaged than like I even thought it was, because these wigs were so thick that I was like, oh my gosh, this is what my hair is supposed to feel like. Like it was a whole rabbit hole I didn't want to go down. And I wish someone had told me to really look at more wigs than that 130% density range, because that has really been like the sweet spot for me that makes me feel like I'm not wearing a ton of hair. It feels very natural. It feels like hair would feel. And I wish someone had just said, hey, like try it out in a lower density first and then work your way up. Because now, yes, I can wear big, crazy, like 150% density hair, but I'm used to it because I've worked my way up to it. I wish I had done it that way instead of working my way back down to 130, which is kind of what I did. I started at like 150, found some 140s, finally was able to like try a company that had a lot of 130s, and now I love those, and I really feel very odd in the higher density wigs, but I still can wear them now. But I really just wish I had known that that's where I should start. So I really just think that's something that if you're just starting out, stick with the 130s to begin with and then work your way up. A couple other things that are kind of short but should be mentioned. Make sure you're measuring your head. That's a really important step in the wig wearing process. It helps kind of gauge what size wigs you need, if caps run small, caps run big. Most companies are going to put the circumference of the wig. If they don't put any other measurements on there, there's always going to be a circumference measurement. So I always recommend you measure your head and make sure you're doing it correctly. I have a video on how to measure your head. I'll put it right here for you guys. You can check it out, but it's not hard. There's a bunch of different measurements you can get, but at least get the circumference so that you know what you need. If you need petite, if you need regular size, everyone has those measurements, and I had no idea that I should do that, and I tried on a ton of wigs that were way too big for me until I kind of realized that I was more on the petite side, and now I know the kind of wigs to look for, and I know if they run big or small based on the measurement of my own head. So that's just a really easy thing that nobody tells you, and you have to figure it out yourself. So now you know. I'm letting you know so you don't have to wonder what that little measurement is down at the bottom of the description of the wigs that you guys are looking at. Something else I really wish that I knew going into wearing wigs is that, especially with synthetic wigs in general, is that it's not just wigs. There's going to be other things that you're going to need to really properly wear your wigs, and to properly secure your wigs, and to properly take care of your wigs, and just there's a lot of stuff that goes along with it that no one really tells you. You think that you're going to get a wig and you're good to go, and in some cases that can be the case. Not to say that you can't do that, but you might not know you need to get a special type of brush, a wig brush, wig shampoo, wig conditioner, things like that you're gonna need for maintenance. If you wanna make your wigs look more natural, you might need tweezers, you might need concealer. There's all these things, and it's kind of a rabbit hole that I didn't know about until I kind of got into wigs, and then I was like, oh, if I want to do this to my wig, I need this. And then I would go down and be like, oh, what the next step to make it look even more natural is if I do this and this, and then I would end up with like 20 different products, which not to say you have to do that, but it does kind of tend to naturally happen as you learn more about wigs and as you get more into wearing wigs. You tend to experiment more with your wigs. So that kind of, all that stuff kind of naturally comes along with wig wearing. So just, I wish someone had told me that I was going to be more than just wigs, because now I'm like crazy about conditioners, spray conditioners, and like straightening irons, like all these things that I would never have thought I was going to use when I started wearing wigs. Now I have like 5 of each. Not all wigs are created equal. Not even all synthetic wigs are created equal. There are heat-safe synthetic wigs. There are non-heat-safe synthetic wigs. There are Futura fiber synthetic wigs. There are just all of these wigs out there at all these different price points, and they're at different price points usually for a reason. Usually the more, you know, natural looking, luxurious feeling, undetectable lace and knots and things like that are going to run you more. And then there are some middle of the road wigs where you can kind of do a couple things to them and they still can handle heat. You can still do all the stuff that you want to do to them. They might not, you know, look as natural coming out of the box, but they're great. And then you go down to a lower tier and you're gonna have to do a lot of work to those. They might not last you as long. But no matter where you are, there are wigs in every budget for every single person. Just know that they're not all gonna be the same. So you're gonna get different wear out of different wigs, depending on where you get them from. You're gonna have to do a little testing to see which brands are out there that you really like and have the things in a wig that you're looking for. And just know that it's okay to have to do a couple tweaks and customizations to make it your own wig, because not everyone looks the same. So not everyone's gonna look the same in the same wig. And you might need to do a couple things to just make it feel like yours. It doesn't matter that it's a wig. And what I mean by that is, when I first started wearing wigs, I felt like anytime someone looked at me, they knew I was wearing a wig. The jig was up. I was not fooling anybody. I don't care how realistic my wig looked. There's no way they didn't know. And they're gonna call me out on it if I didn't like beat them to the punch. And whenever someone would say, oh, I love your hair, or oh, your hair looks amazing, or any type of compliment, thanks, it's a wig. And they'd always be like, oh, okay. Like, it would sometimes start an interesting conversation, or you could kind of tell sometimes it was not like information that they felt like I needed to share with them, or that it wasn't even like something that they even expected me to say. And I could have just said, oh, thanks, and moved on with my life, and it was okay. And not everyone thinks that I'm out there wearing a wig. And unless I draw attention to it, most of the time, no one's gonna know that you have a wig on except for you. So don't be so stressed out about it. Wear those wigs. You know, you're the one who is supposed to feel confident in them. You're the one who, you know, you're the one who's wearing it. It's on your body. And if you love something, even if someone tells you they don't like it, or you have someone in your life that's not as supportive about it, like, who cares? I wear the clothes that I want to wear because I like them. I wear the makeup I want to wear because I like them. I'm going to wear the hair I want to wear because I like it. And if someone notices it's a wig, I'm going to tell them because I don't, it's a wig, thanks, love it, awesome, wonderful. And if not, it's okay. I'm not going to tell them unless they ask, because they don't need to know my business like that, and they don't need to know your business either. And just, if you feel confident in it, you should definitely wear it. And I wish someone had said that to me, because for a long time, I always just felt like someone was going to out me. And then I finally decided to just wear them and be confident in them. And I started wearing my wigs at work. I would wear a different wig at work every single day. And it became fun, and it became something that actually was like a good conversation starter, and something that people at work kind of were waiting to see what I was going to wear. And a lot more people are supportive out there than you think. And they're going to be like really in it with you. And you meet some really cool people because of it. And if they don't like it, who cares? I did not know wig grips existed. I just knew about, originally I just knew about like the mesh, like fishnet stocking wig caps. And those are, I don't like those at all. And then I found the nylon ones, which came with some of my wigs. And then I discovered this magical thing called a wig grip, because I was always having issues, especially with a smaller head, with my wigs kind of sliding off, and I'm part of the weird shaped head club. So I was always having these issues with my wigs sliding up in the back, and I was gluing my wig caps down. I was doing all these crazy things with got to be glued spray to keep my wigs in place. And then I discovered this magical thing called a wig cap, or a wig grip, which wig fairies had to have made. They must exist, because this thing is amazing, and no one ever told me that it existed. And I feel like every single person should know about these going out of the gate. So it makes your life so much easier, especially if you're not someone who wants to glue down your wig all the time. This is something that really makes your wig a throw on and go. You can literally take it. This one's like a combo one, but it serves the same purpose. I love these too. I have a whole video about these, but you can literally take them, put them on. They still have lace on them, so they lay flat. And you can take the hooks that are in your side of your wigs and literally anchor them in underneath this, and they don't move. Like, my mind was blown when I realized that this existed, and it seemed like such a simple thing to stumble upon, but no one said, hey, Jessie, try a wig grip, because wig grips are magical. And they're going to instantly keep your wig from flying off your head, even if you're on a roller coaster or a motorcycle or whatever it is you're doing. So definitely get a wig grip if you don't have one. This wig grip, wig cap combo, love these. But a wig grip by itself is absolutely okay as well. But it makes such a big difference, and you don't have to worry about your wig cap sliding up all over the place, coming off inside of your wig while you're walking down the street. You don't have to deal with it, and they're absolutely amazing, and no one ever said to get one, so I'm telling you right now, add it to your cart, get one before your first wig comes in, or if you already own wigs and you don't have one, I'm telling you right now, will be a game changer for you and make your life so much easier. Yeah, just get it. Another thing I wish people had told me was that you're not gonna just have one wig. And what I mean by that is they're kind of like shoes or belts or earrings or sunglasses or hats or whatever it is that you're into. Wigs are like that, especially synthetic wigs, because you can get them in every shape, color, size, density, length, you name it, bangs, no bangs, whatever, you name it, it's out there. And you want to change it up, and especially when you can find a really good price point on a company or a brand that you like, you're gonna have more than one. And it's also good to have more than one too, because you can kind of rotate through, and you're gonna get more wear out of your wigs, because these do have an expiration on them. You can only get so much wear out of them. You can only repair them so much. If you are new to my channel, you can check out, I have tons of videos. If you scroll through 100+ videos, all on, for the most part, how to maintain, repair, you know, fix, alter your wig. So there is definitely a solution out there, but at some point, every wig has a no turning back point, and it's not gonna last for you after that point. And it's nice to have a couple in rotation so that A, you already have one you can transition into as one kind of has to go RIP, and B, you also can get more wear out of them because you're not wearing the same wig every single day, all day long, because it's just not gonna last you as long. All right, guys, so I really feel like that's kind of it for my list. I know this isn't like a, you need this, you need this, you need this kind of thing. It's more of a, make sure you know about this, or keep on the lookout for this, or keep in mind. But I really just wanted to give you guys this because I feel like we don't sit down and really just have a conversation very often about like this kind of stuff. And I know I have a lot of new people watching, and I've been seeing a lot of comments like, hey, I'm a new wig wearer, and that's kind of how those comments start out. So I just feel like we have a lot of new people here, and I wanted to just give you guys some of those tips and tricks and kind of information that I wish someone had given me to make your beginning of your wig journey a little bit easier, so you don't have to go through all those trials and errors that I experienced. I hope this was helpful for you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys on the next one.